Okay, so if you've seen the topic of the conversation, I think, if I remember correctly, I put there some South Africans are ignorant. That's what I want to talk about today. So I'm just going to wait a little bit longer until a few more people come online. And hi, everybody. Thanks for joining. I'm hoping for South African viewers because this topic I want to talk about is about South Africa. But I'm sure a lot of you are aware of what is happening because it's all over the news. Okay, so the topic of conversation is some South Africans are ignorant. And I'm basing this off of videos that I've been watching that South African content creators, business people have been making, and also based on some of the comments that people were making. And from this, I have deduced that South Africans are ignorant, and also a lot of them are very uneducated. Very. And one person who is actually a multi-millionaire in South Africa, I cannot believe that this person is so ignorant. He is making the most ignorant remarks. Ignorant and uneducated and just wrong what he is saying, okay? So this person I'm talking about, his name is Hersov. Hersov, Hersov. So if you want to find out who he is, you can go Google him. He's got a lot of videos out on YouTube. So I have a video up on YouTube where I talk about Afriforum versus the ANC. ANC is the African National Congress. Now, I don't know, you people are not South African, so I don't know if you will know what I'm talking about. But I have to just keep talking until I get people who will understand, okay? I made this video because there is always this issue that because the video I made, I asked the question here on TikTok. It was a question of the day. I asked, why is it wrong for Afriforum to go to the White House with their grievances, but it was okay for the ANC to do so? That was the question. And then I made another video where I answered it. Now, this Rob Hersov, he just put out a video, and this video has the same name as my video. It also says Afriforum versus ANC. So I don't know, maybe it's just a coincidence because I don't think he's following me. I'm nobody. He's a multimillionaire, okay? I'm nobody. Hi. Okay? But so he put out this video, and in this video, he says, oh, if Afriforum went to the White House to go and present their grievances to the White House, and they can do this because during the Apartheid, ANC did this as well. ANC went there and aired their grievances. And then he says, because they have... Afriforum can do this because what is sauce for the goose is sauce for the gander. But now, Mr. Hersov, I have news for you. The reason it is wrong for Afriforum to do this is because Afriforum is an NGO. And in a democracy, which South Africa is, if a group, a community, a particular race, religion, whatever, any group has an issue with government, whether it be policies or anything to do with the government, They can talk to their member of parliament, their representative, and this representative will take the issue to the parliament where it can be discussed and a solution can be found for it. That's how it works in a democracy. So in this case, the Afrikaners had a problem. Afriforum is an NGO that helps Afrikaners with whatever issues they have. So they should have taken these grievances and then take it to their member of parliament or any of the predominantly white political parties or the dominantly white political parties. They could have taken it to these parties, and then these parties would have then taken it to parliament, and it would have been sorted out there. But they didn't do that. They took their grievances, ran to the White House, and went to go tattletale to Trump about an internal problem, because this problem they have is with the policies in our country, which is South Africa. That is the problem. I don't understand how people in a country who have not even tried to present the issue went to go run to international or run to another country. So, Mr. Hersov, you listen very carefully. That is wrong. They should bring the issue to our government. Now, why ANC during the apartheid, why it was right for them to do what they did? They also took their issue to the White House, to the world, to Britain and other countries. So why was it okay for them to do that? Because during the apartheid, non-white South Africans were excluded from participating in politics and in the economy, amongst other things, but I'm talking about these two main things. Especially, they were excluded from politics, which meant, although the ANC formed a political party, it got banned, and they got labeled as terrorists, and anyone who supported the ANC was labeled a terrorist. Okay? Banned terrorists. Their leaders were jailed. A lot of them had to go into exile. Okay, that's one. Obviously, they are excluded from politics, but they have this issue. Who are they going to turn to for help? Because they're banned. You can't even talk about your issue. You'll be thrown in jail. That is why they had to take this issue to the international communities. Because the apartheid system was not a democratic political system. Under the Human Rights Charter, the apartheid is a crime against humanity. Okay? So you are a multi-millionaire. You have generational wealth in South Africa. You are a white man whose family benefited from the apartheid system. The system that oppressed non-whites to such an extent that they were completely excluded from politics and the economy, and they were classed as second and third class citizens. They had to live separate from the white race. You understand, Mr. Hersov? Because I don't know how you don't know this. I don't know how you don't know this. You're supposed to be white, superior, isn't it? If you're a superior human being, as the whites claim to be, then you should know this. I'm very disappointed in you. This morning, I still had hope for you. in your last speech, but I have zero hope for you now. Zero. Okay, so that's the first thing. Because I'm really riled up. I couldn't even sleep last night because these things are really bothering me about what is going on. White supremacy is once again on the rise in South Africa. It's on the rise, and whites in South Africa are emboldened now by the support they're getting from the USA. They are emboldened. Okay, so that's the first thing. That's a message for Mr. Hersov, Mr. Rob Hersov. Please, people who are here, you can go and Google him. The other thing is, all he does is badmouth the ANC. The ANC did this, the ANC blah, 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 blah. Things were better during the apartheid. Maybe for him, yes. For white people, definitely it was better. Definitely. Definitely. For us non-whites, it was not better. It was worse. It was the worst. Our dignity was stripped from us. Okay? But he has to keep up this rhetoric. His anti-ANC rhetoric. Because what is happening is, because of this anti-ANC rhetoric, all those non-white South Africans who vote for the ANC and who have propped them up for many years so that they always get the majority, they are now being turned off by the ANC because they keep hearing how bad the ANC is. But you know what they're doing? They are now running into the arms of EFF and MK Party. And these are the two extreme left-wing parties that will be very bad for the white population if they had to get the majority rule. Very bad. But Mr. Hersov and friends, all these little people who comment and follow him and all those people that support him and that he supports, you are all pushing the non-whites into the arms of the EFF and the MKP. That's what you are doing. That's what you are doing. You are making non-whites afraid of white people again, because we have seen what you can do. And when you all keep going on with this kind of behavior and this kind of rhetoric, we are afraid of you. And because we are afraid of you, we're going to run to those people who we know for sure will cut you down. So you all have to be very careful. Okay. The other thing that I find, I cannot even be angry about it. I am disheartened by it. Totally disheartened by it. Is that white South Africans are now downplaying the apartheid. They are downplaying what it actually was. They are comparing what is going on now. They keep talking about the 142 race-based laws. They are comparing that to the apartheid, which is one of the worst things you can do, because non-whites will never forgive you if you keep this up. How you can compare what those laws that is bothering you, those laws are there to redress past injustices that were committed by you and your ancestors. And you want to play the victim. This is your karma. It has to be redressed. What you did to us has to be redressed. And by white people denying the severity of the apartheid, denying the negative impact it has had on the psyche of the non-white South African, not acknowledging that these race-based laws now is totally different from the race-based laws during the apartheid that was inflicted on non-white people. All of this stops us from forgiving you for what you did. And this is why our nation cannot move on, because non-whites have to forgive first in order to move on. But if it continues like this, it's not going to happen. White people have to accept that their past injustices that they inflicted on the non-whites have to be redressed. They have to accept that. When they accept that, and until the day all those issues have been redressed, then there will be forgiveness. And once there is forgiveness, then we can move on into the beautiful South Africa that we have all envisioned. But while you white people keep talking like this, I can tell you now, it is not going to happen. It is not going to happen. Because you guys have to let go of your arrogance, which is in your DNA. I know you've been told for decades that you are superior. You have to let that superiority complex die. That has to die. The arrogance has to die in order for South Africa to be the nation that it is supposed to be. Yes, you can blame the ANC for all the things they did. I agree with you. They're a very bad party. They did not govern well. Yeah, maybe for the first few years. They did. They did. Maybe the term when Mandela was there and Mbeki, during those terms. Yes, that was very good. After that, the ANC has been crap. But this is not about the ANC even. This has got nothing to do with the ANC. This has got to do with white people not doing their part and pushing us into the arms of EFF and MKP. This is what this is all about. So you, especially you, Rob Hersov, you seriously have to stop this. You have to stop this. And stop encouraging all these white NGOs like Afriforum and Solidarity and the Cape Independence people to go to the White House and lie about what is happening. You are lying. You are lying about a white genocide. If there was a white genocide, why are you still here? You are white. All the Afriforum people are white. Solidarity. Why are you white? Why are you still here? If there was a genocide, you guys would be the first ones in line to be killed. You would be number one. Yeah, you would have been the first people. Because you are the ones causing all the division in the country. You would have been Afriforum, Solidarity, Cape Independence people. You all would have been front runners. But you are not. You are here. Up and down to the US. Oh, Mr. Trump. That's what you're doing. Tattletaling. Lying. You better set the record straight with the world. Tell them the truth. You are not being killed. There's no genocide here. Yes, there's crime against white people. That, I don't deny that. But there's also xenophobia. Why are you not also telling Trump about the xenophobia? Why don't you go do that? Go tell him about that. Because then we will also tell him why there's xenophobia. Because we have too many illegal immigrants. And he will probably be on board with us because he understands what it's like to deal with illegal immigrants. But stop lying. When you say there are 142 race-based laws, also add, well, you know, there are 142 race-based laws because these laws are here because of our sins, our past sins that we committed. If we did not do what we did during the apartheid to these people, these 142 race-based laws would not exist. And they don't exist because the non-whites want to punish you. No. They exist because we need to redress the injustices. That's why they exist. So stop lying. Just stop it. It's just that I'm already up to here with the lies that is being told about South Africa, and also the denial of our suffering and complete denial of what they did to us. And they are now playing the victim. They want to play the victim. You are not a victim. I'm sorry. You are not a victim. You were a perpetrator, and now it's karma. It's your karma. Deal with it. So let me just summarize what I was talking about. My first rant was to this guy called Rob Hersov, who is a liar. He's probably just, maybe he's not lying. Maybe he's just being ignorant and uneducated by comparing what Afriforum is doing, which is they went to the White House to tattletale about their grievances that they have with South African government. He's comparing that to the African National Congress, which is the ANC, what they did during apartheid, because they also went to the White House to go and air their grievances to the White House. He's saying, if the ANC could do it, that means Afriforum can do it. So what I've been ranting here about is Afriforum is wrong in doing that, because now we have a democracy. They are supposed to take their grievances to their member of parliament. There's a lot of white-dominated parties and predominantly white political parties that could have taken it to parliament, and it could have been sorted out there. And that's where it should be sorted out. It is not an international issue. It is a local issue. Why ANC could do that is because during the apartheid, ANC, the non-whites formed a political party called ANC. It was illegal. Government deemed it illegal, banned it, labeled the party as a terrorist party. Members, terrorists, supporters are terrorists. That was your label. Leaders of that party got put into jail. Some managed to run away, and they were in exile in other countries. So how are you, like the ANC, how are they supposed to lay their grievances on the table in parliament when they are banned? They are excluded from politics, and they're also excluded from the economy. So how? So what must they do? They had no choice but to go overseas and appeal to the international community for help. Hi, I'm sure people can see there's a difference, right? There's a difference. This one, Afriforum, they have voting rights. If they want, they can actually form a political party. They're not. They're just an NGO. But there are political parties that they can go to that can help them to get their grievances sorted out. The ANC banned, terrorists, excluded from politics, not because they did anything wrong. It's just that non-whites were not allowed to participate in politics. That's all. So how can they air their grievances when they have no representation in parliament? They have to take it outside. That's the difference. But this idiot, Rob, does not get that. That's why you see, it doesn't matter how rich you are. He's a multi-millionaire, generational wealth, mining. And I'm sure the mining company is from stolen land. Stolen land. That's another story. Anyway, multimillionaire, does not even know this. How can you have so much money, but you it's like you didn't go to school? Money can buy education. It cannot buy class, but it can buy education. You did not buy your education. I don't know what you were spending your money on, but it was definitely not on education. That's the one thing I was ranting about. Second thing I ranted about is, as again to this Rob Hersov, because all that he does is bad mouthing the ANC. The ANC this, the ANC that, they did this, they didn't do that. We know. Everybody already knows how bad they are. Corrupt, blah, blah, everything. We know. There's no dispute about this. Everybody is on track with this one. We all agree. But what is happening is there are people who support the ANC. But what is happening now is this anti-ANC rant is pushing voters, ANC voters who are now also becoming who's also now becoming anti ANC. It's pushing them to EFF and MKP, who are two extreme left parties, political parties. And if they come in power, I don't know what chance South Africa has. But that's what y'all are doing, Mr. Hersov. That's what your rhetoric is doing. You are pushing non-whites into the arms of EFF and MKP. That's what you're doing. So you best change your rhetoric. Better start talking more positive things. Forget the ANC and all their whatever things they did, wrong things. Everybody knows that. Move on, move forward. And you know how you can move forward? By doing this. Stop downplaying the effects that the apartheid had on the psyche of the non-white. Stop downplaying how bad the apartheid was. It's so bad that it has been declared a crime against humanity. That's how bad it is. Stop comparing this 142 race-based laws, which are there to redress your white people's past injustices that you inflicted on the non-whites. Stop comparing that with the laws you implemented during apartheid. Do not even compare it. It's totally different. Totally. Stop saying that the apartheid laws was better than the 152 race-based laws that they are now. Stop doing that, because you are a liar. And it's about time that you white people better talk the truth and let everybody know, Trump, everybody, what the 142 race-based laws are about and why they are there. It's about time you all did that. You have to let the international community know that those laws are there to redress your sins, things you did. You are not the victim. You are not the victim. You are the perpetrator. Those laws are there because of you. If you did not do what you did during the apartheid to the non-whites, these laws would be totally unnecessary. But no, you decided non-white people are subhumans. They cannot share in the wealth in South Africa. They cannot even participate in the economy, in politics. They had to be separated from you white people. When the budget came in, the white people got 90% of the budget and the majority got 10%. And when you say, oh, things were much better during the apartheid, yeah, for you, yes. You had electricity every day and running water and lived in big houses with nice green lawns and trees. And how were the non-whites living? Well, not all of them, to be honest, to to be fair. At least 85-90% of the non-whites, how were they living? In shacks, no running water, no electricity. No electricity at all. Never seen electricity. The first time they saw electricity was in 1994. So I don't know what you're talking about. You better get this straight to the international community, because you are not the victim. I say it again, you are not the victim. And I want to finish on a positive note, because I need to finish already. It's late and I need to go to bed. If we want South Africa to succeed as this rainbow nation, rainbow just means multiracial nation, then we first have to make sure that the non-whites forgive the white people for what happened in the past. And don't say, but it's not me, I wasn't born. No. You are the descendant of those people who did this to us. If you're Gen X, baby boomer, it's you, because you're still alive, isn't it? And if you millennial, Gen Y, all those Gen Z, all that other people, you are the beneficiaries of the apartheid system, because it was your parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, great-great-grandparents who benefited from it. So you need to be forgiven. And non-whites, you have to forgive them. But non-whites can only forgive you if the past injustices are redressed. And what are you doing, white people? You don't want to redress the past injustices. You want the non-whites to just like, okay, it's okay. Nothing, forget it, we forgive you. No. You're not going to get away scot-free, because you're not a victim. The non-whites are the victims. You will pay for the sins of your fathers, and you will pay for your sins. It's karma. Redress the injustices. Once the injustices are redressed, whether it is another 20 years, because that's about how long it's going to take, let it get redressed. When it's redressed, then the non-whites can forgive you, right? Right? But every time you play the victim, how can they forgive you? Hi. They cannot forgive you if you keep playing the victim, because you're not the victim. I'm going to say that over and over again. You are not the victim. And stop telling the world you are the victim, because you know the people are not stupid. The rest of the world are not stupid. For those people in the rest of the world who bother to do some research, to read, to talk to people, they're not stupid. They will be able to see. They will know what happened during the apartheid. They will know what these laws are for. They can see what you are doing. You want to break South Africa up and establish your own white country. Who has ever heard of such stupidity? You want to take a whole province and have an independent country. You want to have a whites-only country in the middle of Africa. There is something wrong with your brains. I'd like to see the Pakistanis go and have an entire country in the middle of the USA. Maybe take Oregon, the state of Oregon, and just turn it into an Islamic country with Sharia law. See how Trump is going to like that one. If they're not going to like it, why do you think we should like it? This is our country. Who are you to come here and want to break it up? If we want our country to move forward, redress past injustices, black, non-white people, forgive them, and then we can move on. Then we can build. So anyway, that's all I want to see. Say hi. Okay, people, thank you for joining, but I need to go now because it's very early in the morning already. So once again, thank you for joining, and thank you everyone for commenting on my videos. Please follow. Okay, so thank you everybody. Good night. Cheers. Have a good day.